All right, here come the masses. Welcome one and all. I had somebody complaining that the times weren't working for them, and I apologize for that. You know, we're all in different parts of the world. We do our best to pick a slot that's in between. It's morning for me. It's evening for most Americans, depending on where you are. I know Peter was logging in last time. It was 3 a.m. for him. So I appreciate the hustle. For those of you that are inconveniencing yourselves to be here, that you value this live webinar and the opportunity to ask questions. I appreciate you guys. Also, I went to YouTube last night, ladies and gentlemen, and I just did a search for peak funding, and there is a ton of you putting content out there, regurgitating some of the webinars that I had on Facebook. I had no clue there was so much activity popping on YouTube. And I'm seeing some of the web treatments and the banners and the ads that you guys are putting out. Some of the language needs to change. We definitely don't use the word investment. We don't offer an investment opportunity. We're not licensed investment brokers. And so some of the language has to change. We'll talk a little bit about that. Folks, we're going to be getting started in 4 minutes. If you have someone on your team, it's not too late to remind them that this webinar is live or pull them into it. We're going to give you guys an opportunity to ask questions. Most of you already know how to use the chat feature. So go ahead, and if you have questions, you can use chat. If you know how to raise your hand and you want to come out, you can do that. Welcome to you, Drew Burton. Good to have you with us. And my partner in crime, Mr. Bill Ebert, is in the house. Drew, are you in your car again? Yes.
I'm in my car, yeah. It's Easter, so I was driving home. I got my dog back here. I don't know if you can see her. Sam. She's in the back of the car. Yeah, you can't see her. You can see her eyes glowing in the dark.
Early question, what type of trade lines are being used in the corporation to build up their credit image? Yeah, we'll cover all that stuff. We'll get to the question and answer. We have a lot of ground to cover today. First, we want to talk about the two-tier and when we're cutting over. Bill and I never did officially pick a date, but I think we're ready now, so we might as well cut over as fast as possible. Secondly, and probably most importantly, I want to discuss personal funding and our Pay It Forward program. A lot of you came for the corporate program, and the reason that you're interested in that is because you're international, and that's a program that you can participate in. But I want you guys to have a clear understanding of the kind of money that you can make on the personal funding / credit repair side, and why that's so integral to our business and why we use that to double money. So you guys will have a better understanding of that, and then we'll do a question and answer. We're going to officially get started in about 2 minutes, and I see people are still logging in. Welcome, Rashawn, Rick, Rob, Stephen, Wayne, Eric, Scott, a lot of people. Kevin, a couple names I can't pronounce. Welcome one and all. As usual, I'm gonna, this is recording now, and I'll go ahead and put it, I started the YouTube channel, got a lot of subscribers, by the way, that was cool. So this will go up in the Facebook group and on YouTube as well. So we're building a nice little archive of webinars that as you're bringing on marketing partners or as you're bringing on people with questions, you can save yourself time and explanation by just pointing them to these videos. That's why we do this. Give it about 30 more seconds and we'll officially start. Welcome to you, Mr. Bill Ebert.
Hey there, hope my microphone's okay. I'm in a sporadic hotel internet connection. Hope you guys can hear me okay.
Yeah, you sound good. Hotel sporadic. I know it well. 30 seconds, folks. Yeah, Bill took a much needed vacation. Not really though, because Bill works all the time, no matter where he is. But Bill took his family to the beach. He was sending me some pictures. I was jealous. Good for you, Mr. Bill. All right, it's coming right up on the hour. So I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy lives, busy schedules. I guess officially it's still Easter Sunday in America, so I hope you guys had some downtime, some family time, ate too much food. I haven't officially celebrated Easter in so long, since I was a kid growing up in Boston. So But those of you that celebrated, congratulations. I'm glad you're here. As I said, we're going to talk about the Pay It Forward program and the personal funding. But before we get officially started, I just want to bring out Mr. Bill and say hello to you, sir. Come on out and say hi. Bill, you're muted in case you didn't know.
Hey, everybody. Glad to be here. We're dragging from all of the really good food and the too much sun and lots of wind, and we're enjoying the Outer Banks of North Carolina. It's been a blast. Glad you guys made it. Looks like we got quite a crew here tonight.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that we did our first official commission run. We had a couple corporations sell. Commissions went out. One person fell through the cracks, and I'm following up with him, have been over the weekend, make sure that that money goes out. Many of you have rolled your commissions back into getting more stakes, which I think is very cool and very visionary. Drew Burton being one of those people. So I appreciate the leadership. I appreciate leaders that lead by example. Boy, I was so blown away last night when I saw all the videos. Congratulations, guys. Let me ask you, Drew, what has your experience been in marketing this, in the response that you're getting, in what people are saying, and the general outlook on the opportunity? I know there's a lot of excitement. What have you experienced?
Oh, it's been going really good. You know what? This is probably, I think, one of the best things to promote that I've ever promoted, because of the commission is just so crazy. I know you guys are changing the commission structure. It's going to be 2-tier now, and you're going to talk about that probably tonight. But guys, to get 30% commission in something is like, it's unheard of. It's unreal. And to actually see that happen is crazy. And this is my strategy, basically. What I've been doing since we did the first webinar is, if someone asks me, hey, can I have some, because that's their question, right? They always say, can I have some information? What is this thing? Tell me about it, kind of thing like that. And, the normal response is you're sitting there typing away, talking for hours on end through Facebook and such like that. What I do, I just go to YouTube, grab the link to the webinar and send them that webinar. Okay. So that's why I highly recommend you guys do. It's going to convert like crazy, because people, they get to see the admins of the company. They get to meet people in the company that are doing good or on there. They're serious people. Like last week we had Peter. He was asking some really good questions and stuff like that. So yeah, use the content that's out there that's being made by the admins to go and work for you, basically.
Yeah, outstanding. I've been in the industry a long time, and working this business, being involved with this business, the personal funding, Bill and I started out on a couple of years back. We did very well in the personal funding space, but this corporate funding and the way we have everything structured now, it's really, there's really nothing like it in the marketplace. Look, there are a lot of Bitcoin multiplying programs out there. Many of them are sketchy at best. Many of them, you can't find company owners. The website's only a few months old, so on, right? And there are obviously a lot of other Ponzi's that might not be Bitcoin, but they're just sketchy. They're risky. Now, some of us on this webinar actually are attracted to those things. Some of us like to, just like we like to go to the casino once in a while, some of us like to jump into those programs. But when you talk about a program that you can really get behind and promote, look, I've been in some of those questionable programs because I like to gamble a little bit like anyone, but I would never put my reputation on the line or my name in front of it and go out and promote it, something that I haven't done the due diligence on, or something that I is questionable in my opinion. And if I feel weird about it, I couldn't get behind it. So what I love about this program is we really have a unique business model. And there's really nothing like it out there. So you can feel good promoting something that is unique in the marketplace, and you can feel good promoting something that there's real people behind it, real business savvy people behind it, people that have made the breakout income, people that have been in the industry a long time. Bill Ebert is my first mentor, and I met Bill Ebert in 2002, I believe. And I've been working with him basically ever since. And so we have a long history. He's one of the few people that I work with in business that I 100% trust. He's a friend first, and then a business partner second. But, my dad taught me a long time ago when I was little, he said, good business makes good friends. And the reason that Bill and I have remained friends over all these years is because we've always made money together. We've always done good business. And that's one of the things that gets me excited, is that we have something so unique. If you're a marketer, you can promote this thing. If you're not a marketer, you can just come in and make the passive money. And to that end, talking about marketing, I want to talk a little bit about moving to two-tier. Bill, are we ready to cut over officially? Can we do it this week? Can we do it today?
Yeah, we're ready to go. All new corporations, we should be able to do a two-tier commission plan. So tell them how that works.
Okay, so the only thing that I need to do that's not done yet is I need to modify the webinar that's going out. So until I get that complete, we're going to remain on the 30% one tier, because we can't have the nomenclature different from what the program actually is. I'm working on those slides now, and I will get our webinar recorded in the next 48 hours. And once I get it up, I'll make an announcement in the group. We will go live with that this week. Now, those of you that love the idea of a 30% commission and feel like maybe we're taking money off the table by moving it to 25% on tier one, keep in mind that there's wisdom in that, because you want to be collecting a 5% commission on the efforts of your marketing partners. Now, if you're a person that's not a professional marketer and you're coming to this thing passively, you're probably not promoting it anyway. So, you just want to buy a stake in a corporation and enjoy the opportunity to watch that money grow. So that's cool. But those of you that are marketers, Drew understands this, Bill understands this, I understand this. I would much rather get a tiny commission off the efforts of 100 people than make 100% of my own efforts. And still, a 25% bonus on level one is still whopping. It's still $5,000 if you sell a full corporation. So I think it's a winner chicken dinner. And again, I'll make an official announcement once I get the slides updated. Bill, I want them to understand our pay it forward and our credit repair. You have been steeped in that, for years now with the personal funding. And since we launched this corporate program, that's been going really well. We call it PIF, pay it forward. We talk about how you can double your money as a person that wants to just take some of your corporate funding and make it grow. Bill, why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so our number one investment strategy right now, it's actually over and above what we're doing on the corporation side. For the people who actually start making money, or the corporations start getting some cash flow, one of the best ways for us to turn your cash flow into profit is by helping people. Of the 210 million Americans who need credit repair, we will take and basically we're hard money lenders, and we lend them the money. We purchase a wholesale product for $2,500 and we get their credit repaired. And on the back end, once they get funded, they give us $5,000 back for our investment. And so we're doubling our money every 90 to 120 days. And these guys just, it's a no-brainer for everybody. It's a zero risk for the customer, because he doesn't have the money. A lot of them don't have an extra $2,500 or $5,000 to pay for their own credit coaching. And on our side, there's just no reason for them not to participate. Now, if any of you guys want to go through the program, we can actually pay for your credit repair. We only ask that you put a little bit of money in. So we ask someone to spend anywhere from $200 to $500 as their part, so they have a little bit of skin in the game, so they'll actually participate in the program. And then we pay for the rest of the program for them. And like I said, our hard money lenders spend $2,500 a piece, and a lot of these guys are stepping up with 10, 20, and even 50. I had a guy send me $55,000 the other day, and we have hundreds and hundreds of people in the program. And it's really a no-brainer. Now, I don't know if you guys know, if you guys are spreadsheet people or if you're math people, you realize that if you start doing the math, you realize that this type of program can grow exponentially, and it won't last forever. We just want to let you guys know up front that a program like this, you take $55,000 and you give it to a bunch of people who then get funding, and then they want to take their money and put it toward other people's credit repair. You realize the exponential potential. It's impossible for any company to say it's going to last forever. So we're saying a minimum of 6 months, maybe a year, we'll be able to continue to offer the program. At that point, we're just going to have too much work to do. It's just too much infrastructure. No company can grow at that rate and actually provide a good, solid product. So Before the year's up, we'll have other investment strategies, which we already have, that are really solid. But right now, pay it forward is the best way to go. So if you know of anybody or you want to start promoting that, or if you want to participate, just let us know. In your back office, there's a little video that explains how to do it. Whether you want to be a participant of the program and have somebody pay for your credit repair, or if you just want to jump in and throw some of your money, or what we call OPM, other people's money, go ahead and get a loan. What we're doing is we're getting you guys loans, unsecured loans. You're using the bank money to go ahead and help other people with their credit repair. And it's a beautiful program. It's flawless. It's been working for quite a while now. So go in the back office, check on the personal funding side, watch the video if you're interested, and just jump in.
To be clear, the personal funding is for U.S. residents only. And one thing that I had a question about this, because you're steeped in the mechanics every day of making this thing go, Bill. Somebody asked me on Facebook, they said, if I want to do credit repair, how long does it take me to find someone to step up and pay for my credit repair? Can you answer that?
We actually have more money right now than we have credit repair people. So, it goes back and forth. Sometimes we have more people than we have money, and sometimes we have more money than we have people. Right now, I could take on another 50 people today and pay for their credit repair. We have enough money in the coffers to get some more people. And the easiest thing for us to do is to find people that say, hey, please fix my credit, and I don't want to pay anything. That's an easy sale. So we'll fill that bucket up in the next week or two. But 50 people right now, it's going to be pretty easy.
Also, Bill, tell them what kind of money they can make. Maybe you're international and you can't get personal funding for yourself, but you can still make money referring people in the United States. Tell them what kind of money they can make.
We actually get paid 3 times with the personal funding side. So we actually have, once a person goes through funding, there's a bonus for you. It's not a huge bonus, but there's a bonus for you getting them to go through credit repair. And again, you'll see some of these numbers in the back office. You get bonus number 1 for getting them through the credit repair program. Number 2, you get a percentage of the funding. So when they go through funding, you're going to get 1%, and second tier 0.67%. So we pay out a total of 1.67% of the funding. So you get bonus number 2. That's like $1,500 for every $150,000 in funding. And you get paid again if they take their money and invest it into the corporate program, which is a 25% program there. So they're actually getting paid 3 times. And if they go through a second round of funding, they go through round number 1, they pay for credit repair. Number 2, you get paid another 3 times. It's so you can get paid as many as 6 times just to get somebody through the credit repair funnel.
Yeah, and the great thing, for those of you that feel a little overwhelmed, like there's a lot of moving parts and you don't understand it all, the simple truth is that the system has been tweaked, and we're designing it to take the user, to take Alice down the rabbit hole, so you don't have to really do all the explaining and the selling and the telling, right? When you log into the corporate back office of Peak Funding, the default dashboard is the corporate program. But anyone interested in credit repair, all they have to do is click on credit repair, which is with the green button up top. And once they get there, there's an orientation video. Every single dashboard has an orientation video that tells the user what to do. So it's really, really simple and streamlined. We've really gone out of our way to put nothing in the back office that doesn't point the user on the path. The back office is very sparse for a reason. It's a clean back office. And there's only 4 paths here. You're in the Pay It Forward program, you're getting your credit repaired, you're getting personal funding, or you're getting corporate funding. And so you don't have to understand every aspect of the program in order to point somebody to the credit repair tab, let the video do the selling and the telling. If that person has any issues uploading their documents or they have questions, that's why we have a support ticket system. So this isn't something that is going to tax you or stress you out or take tons of your time studying, trying to understand everything. You're going to come to understand things better over time as we just go down this road together. But the good news is, if you're a marketer, no matter what country you live in, you can promote the credit repair to people, make money when they decide to get their credit repaired, make money if they go into personal funding, make money if they decide to go into the corporate program. Every way you slice it, it comes out money. So I hope you guys are getting a little bit more excited and having a a little bit more of a light bulb go off in respects to what we really have here, because this thing has been a couple years in the making, and the back office that you have now has come with a lot of sweat equity, a lot of learning curve for Bill and myself and the staff to figure this stuff out and make a software. You know, our software is 100% custom. There's nothing like it that I've seen anywhere in the industry. Bill said I'm iced up. Did I freeze? Can you all hear me? Am I frozen? Okay. Maybe Bill iced up. I don't know. Anyway, so I hope that makes sense. Also, the Pay It Forward program really is it's really kind of, it's kind of like the gas that makes everything go. Because without the Pay It Forward, we would have to go to alternate sources to make the money grow. But with the Pay It Forward, this is how, you know, not just are we getting the corporate funding and using that funding to pay everyone back double, you know, their stake, but over and above that, the Pay It Forward program is how people are doubling their money every 120 days, which means that if you purchase your own corporation, if you go into corporate funding and you pull, say, 150,000 to 500,000 out in corporate funding, you can take some of that money and put it into our Pay It Forward program, meaning that whatever amount you choose can be doubled in 120 days as people are stepping up. So we do need people that are engaged in finding folks in the United States that want credit repair. And as Bill said, there's 210 or 220 million people with a scorable credit score, and most of them are struggling. Most of them need a little help. So there's 4 different paths in the back office, and every one of them spells money. Bill, you have anything to add? Oh, I think we lost Bill totally. That's what oh, he's back.
I got bounced out a couple times, like I said. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right. Yeah, I've been bounced out twice so far. Somebody asked the question in the chat box I'd like to answer. You know, somebody says, well, what about the naysayers? And like was said earlier, point them to the webinar. Let them explain how simple and easy the program is. You know, there's a lot of people that are worried about the scams that are out there, and we understand. You know, that's why we have these live Q&A sessions. But there are some people that you just cannot convince. You know, you could raise somebody from the dead on Easter Sunday, and they're just not going to believe. It's just not going to happen. So, you know, don't worry about the naysayers so much. Go on to the people who are ready to go. You know, don't spend your time on the 20% that aren't going to participate. Spend your time on the people who get it.
Yeah, there was some naysayer here in the group, and I ejected him. He was spreading a lot of hate. And we just don't have time and energy for that. Look, this thing works. This thing is real. You know, nothing that we're doing, we're asking you to take on faith. You know, Bill has shown the mind map. We have shown you in the webinars how everything works. It just makes, you know, clear and perfect logical sense. And if somebody is a naysayer to logic, then they're just crazy. They're just mental. And, you know, don't waste your energy. You know, I've learned to say as little as possible to as many people as possible, as fast as possible in this industry. And if you do that, and you let the videos do their work, you know, the people that are interested will have intelligent questions based on the video that they just watched. And now you're dealing with a person, you know, that is closable as opposed to a person that's a naysayer. I learned a long time ago, if you have to convince somebody once, you'll just have to convince them again. Don't waste time with people that lack vision. Don't waste time with people that lack vision or money. You know, I always tell, if someone is struggling financially, I always say, you know, you don't lack money. What you lack is inspiration. What you lack is vision. Because if you are impassioned and excited about changing your stars for the better, you will always find money. I've done it in the past. I've struggled financially in the past. I sold guitars. I hawked watches. I did whatever I could do to join businesses. And, you know, maybe some of it was reckless, but I have no regrets. You know, when I met Bill, he was a full-time consultant to the industry, and I was a full-time sales guy at a job commuting 5 days a week, and I felt like I was on a wheel. And Bill was the first guy that I met that made his own hours. He worked when he wanted to. He made money in his socks. That was inspirational to me. And I just did whatever needed to be done to get myself into that position. And even though sometimes as entrepreneurs we have ups and downs like anyone, I'd rather go through the ups and the downs working for myself, calling my own shots, and betting on myself And 17 years later, I could say I have no regrets. I've been full-time in this industry 17 years, and I am more excited about the future than I am about some of the successes that I've had. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are in the right place. Bill, you got anything else to add?
That's it for me. If you guys have any more questions, go ahead and type them in the window.
Yeah, let's get to the question and answer section. Oh,
I saw one question here. It said, "Is there any testimonials?" And I actually want to say something. Is that was one of the first things I thought was, okay, I want to meet the people that are in this and stuff like that. And then I started talking to Tom, and Tom, like, you used the system before you actually created like the peak funding website and stuff. So basically, guys, if you want to think of it this way, like, Tom is a testimonial himself, right? I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that, because that basically, for me, like, it answered the question of,
Sure.
you know, who's doing this, right? Is there other people out there?
To be clear,
doing this?
the corporate funding side of this, corporate funding isn't new. That's you know, been around a long time. A lot of people in the credit business are smoke and mirrors. A lot of people will make promises and claims that they can't deliver on. And we experienced that a lot. Don't forget, Bill and I were involved in personal funding for a couple of years. You know, our first 9 months that we got into this space, you know, to just go back a little bit, in early 2017, I wasn't interested in credit repair or credit funding. I knew nothing about it, to be honest with you. I knew nothing about it. I was a Bitcoin guy and a network marketer and an affiliate marketer and a consultant. And that's what I knew. Bill said he got bounced again. I'm just going to keep talking. If Bill can come back, that's cool. But in 2017, when this credit opportunity made itself available, you know, we did almost $10 million in personal funding in 9 months. So we went from, you know, the outhouse to the penthouse. And we made a lot of mistakes along the way. The truth is we executed really poorly. We could have made quite a bit more, but we were just kind of learning the ropes. We were building the software. 2018 was a year of a lot of hard work, you know, because we were building custom software. Bill was in the process of building the software on the fly, literally modifying software that's live with users in it, which is not an easy thing to do. And we made our back office and our lead manager and all of the tracking and all of the ability to upload documents, that was all built from scratch. And so we had done, I forgot how much, we did millions and millions in funding in 2018. And towards the end of 2018, one of our white label partners, George, came up with this idea for the crowdfunding aspect of the corporate funding. Now, it was two things converged simultaneously. We found an 8-year company that was doing the underwriter that claimed that they could get, you know, $300,000 or more in 120 days in corporate funding on a new corporate workup. And, you know, like I said, in this industry, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. There's a lot of people that make promises that they can't deliver on. So we tested that company. And we didn't just test them once. We tested them to the extent that we were really comfortable that these guys can, in fact, do what they said they were going to do. And then with George's crowdfunding model, which started out at $100, you could buy a $100 stake in a corporation. Now the minimum is $500 once we do the official cutover. But George actually masterminded that. So I've had a lot of people ask, you know, can we have some testimonies? Well, this thing didn't officially go live until January. In December, we were building it. Yeah, Bill sent me a link. The picture says he has no internet connection. He's in some vacation resort or wherever he is. He's got a bad internet connection, so we lost Bill. But anyway, so those of you, we're going to be having testimonies of people in the next 30 to 60 days. People that have had a corporate workup. We've had some people in Drew's group step up and buy full corporations. I've sold a couple full corporations. But I can attest on a personal level that I have seen the underwriter pull $120,000 in less than 60 days. In less than 60 days, I've seen that. And so the funding is absolutely real. And here's the thing, Bill said it in either the last webinar or possibly the first webinar. He said, all we've got to do is pull at least $50,000 in funding, corporate funding, and we can double everyone's money, easy, and still have a little money left over to turn it into more money. So if we get 100,000 or 150,000, you know, we are so well good. If we get 300,000 on average per corporation, we're so extra well good. So for the people that want to see the proof, that's cool. You know, some people are just like that. They, you know, I lived in Missouri for 20 years. They call it the show me state. And some people just want you to show them. And those people, that's fine. They're not visionaries. They can just wait until you have the proof. It's interesting how people in my experience on Facebook, I've had a lot, especially people that were close to me before I started making breakout income, right? People that I knew from growing up in my old neighborhood, people that I was in bands with, and all of us just had, you know, day jobs, right? Those people were highly skeptical and kind of hating on my wall when I was making this breakout income, before I made the breakout income. But once I made it, it's interesting how the naysayers turned into fans and how the naysayers all of a sudden were interested in what I was doing. So just stay the course. If you're a marketer, you've got an affiliate link with the current webinar that talks about the 30% first level commission. Use that link. That webinar is super compelling, and then you can follow up that webinar with these live webinars that we're doing. Point them to the YouTube channel or point them to the Facebook group. Everything that we do in this company, we do with integrity. I don't put my name on anything that I don't have 100% feeling that everything is on the up and up, and the underwriters that we're working with and the people that we're working with, it's all top notch. You know, Bill and I have been running companies for a while. Bill and I have, we built 750,000 members in a traditional network marketing company, a coffee company. We launched our own programs in 2015. We had a program that did 263,000 members in 5 months, almost 50,000 paid subscriptions. We were the 11,000th most trafficked website on planet Earth in 2 months. It took us to get there. So we've had some experiences with this. We've fallen on our faces many times. You know, we don't always win in this industry, but we practice winning every day. We just keep showing up, folks. We just keep showing up and doing the work, doing the mundane things that kind of seem boring, that aren't glamorous. You know, it's not all 5-star resorts and pina coladas every day in this industry, but we just keep showing up. I've been showing up for 17 years. I've been free for 70 years, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Any more questions? Drew, is there any questions?
There's one. Yeah, I see one question here about hard yield lenders and lending club. I don't even know what that means. You guys understand that? It's the very last question.
High yield lenders like lending club.
Yeah.
No, the typical lender, first of all, you know, we're going to banks and credit unions. Those are the typical lenders. And, you know, they make the final decision if they want to lend the money. All we do is give them everything that they need to make that informed decision. A lot of the banks require you to submit paperwork. And if your paperwork isn't perfect, if all your T's aren't crossed and your I's dotted, then they'll kick the application back. And once they kick the application back, you can't reapply. And the reason for that is because these banks are inundated with applications all day long. So our job, and the underwriter's job really, is to make sure that all the paperwork is perfect, right? For the corporate funding, you need a Dun & Bradstreet number, you need a toll-free number, you need a website, you need a physical address, you need a person associated as a manager of that corporation, and so on and so on. So if you guys ever understood how many moving parts there are to just getting one corporation live, and to think that we're doing 2 or 3 a week right now, the brands have to be made, the logos have to be made, web hosting accounts have to be put up, content has to be created. There's a lot of moving parts. And you guys get the benefit of just plugging into this engine and just putting on your marketing caps, or just purchasing a stake in the corporation and partnering with us and making that friction-free income. But trust me when I say, Bill's vacation is well-deserved, because he's working 16-hour days when he's home and on the clock. 6-minute to freedom mail. Can we unsubscribe from that one? And I'll have Bill make it unsubscribable in the short term. You know, yeah, I know it's a nuisance, especially if you don't live in America and you're not interested in personal funding, but at least it's good to know that those emails are going out. Yeah. that's the system working for you. Anything else? How long is the average time to see profit in a newly built corporation? Yeah, the money starts coming in around the 2-month mark. Actually, I think it can come a little quicker in very small amounts. Sometimes in the beginning, you'll get issued a credit card. Most of the corporate funding is cash deposits, unsecured cash deposits. There's no personal guarantee on the corporate funding, which is great. Now, some people might want to opt to make a personal guarantee, and the personal guarantee sometimes will get you the money quicker and get you a larger sum. But what I like about the corporate credit is there is no personal guarantee, therefore there's almost no liability, and that's where we want to be. We want to be able to use the bank's money to make more money without any personal risk. Okay, so as far as corporations, once everybody is paid, you actually have a stake in that corporation. So the nice thing is that not only did you double your money, but you actually are a member on a board. You actually have a stake in that corporation. We assign you to the corporation, and then all of the members get to vote on when we're going to pay people out. And of course, that corporation will go on to create a few more corporations from the funding that they get, and then start using the Pay It Forward program to start compounding that money, right, every 120 days. So there is a great opportunity, especially those of you that have multiple stakes in multiple corporations. There's a great opportunity for you to get an annual payout, semi-annual, quarterly. It all depends on what the members vote on. And, we have an accounting firm, and we have a team that's assigned to the corporations that you'll be interfacing with. You'll get all your paperwork and all that stuff. So this is why we say that we can't offer this program to the public forever, because there's only so many deals that we can process in a month, especially if we get a corporation that's going to get more corporations. We could just be involved doing that. So eventually we're going to close this down to the public, and then everybody that's in the program now will continue to participate ongoing, but we won't be able to continue to offer this to the public forever. But we're probably at least 6 months to a year away from that time. So where can we ask questions?
Rick has a really good question here. He says it's about credit repair. Rick's in the U.S.
Yeah.
How long does that take for someone to contact you? So when you go through and you fill out the form and stuff like that, how long does that process take?
So we have a couple people that monitor the paperwork on the personal funding side. And if someone is stuck, what I would say is send in a service ticket if you haven't heard from anybody. What happened was there's only so many of us. And so we had some other before I actually came out with Peak Funding, I was more on the corporate side doing, the videos. You see my videos and stuff. And so we had another white label team that actually kind of started with this corporate funding project. And interestingly, one of the guys that spearheaded that went off to do something different. And so we had some support staff that were assigned to that white label that were kind of supplementing, helping me. But now that Peak has gotten so much traction, we've assigned 2 people that will be just kind of monitoring all the service tickets to Peak. And then if one of the customer service people can't answer the ticket, then it'll be escalated to me or Bill. So we're going to be trying to get through every ticket as fast as possible, as we have been. But if you're on the personal funding side and you have questions, or you have a problem, or you just don't know what to do, the first thing to do is start a service ticket. A lot of people, because you're connected to me on Facebook, a lot of people are coming to me for one-on-one support, which I'm doing my best to handle everybody. But there's only one of me, and as I said, some days I'll have 35 private messages, and 27 of them will be people that want me to look into their problem directly. And I try to do all of them, but I'm sure I'll be getting to the point where I can't. So what I'll say is, if you're having a lot like simple problems, like normal everyday problems, like login issue, or you don't know your password, or you have a simple question, please start a service ticket in the back office. If it's something bigger, like you want to pay in Bitcoin, or you're not getting your problem resolved with our support staff, by all means reach out to me, and I'll do my best to handle everybody. I would say some of the questions have already been answered in past webinars. So I would direct also any of you that are new to this thing and you haven't seen the past webinars, go to our YouTube channel or go into the group and watch the past 2 live webinars, because we cover a lot of ground on those webinars. Anything else, Drew?
Yeah, Gord's asking a question here that's good. I don't think you guys have answered this question yet. I know Gord bought a whole corporation.
Yep.
So for instance, someone like himself, where they go and they fund the whole 20K and they get their own corporation there, who makes the decision about that?
Yeah, you're actually the decision maker. As we said in the last webinar, we're moving to a 60-40 where you will actually be 60% controlling share in that corporation. So you make the final decision. And you're going to be, Gord, you're going to be in regular communication with us on the whole process, because especially now you can choose to be active, right? There might be some paperwork to sign. You're going to need a fax machine. There might be some little things to do, and you can choose to do that, or we can assign somebody to do that. So you can be as active or passive as you want, but you're going to be clued in every step of the way. Oh, the tax question, it's a good question, Peter. We have an accounting department, so I can promise you every U.S. tax that is due will be paid in the U.S. As far as your country, I'm not qualified to give advice on, tax implications in another country. I'm not even qualified to give tax advice in the U.S. So I would, anything that you withdraw and take as profit obviously has to be taxed. That's between you and your accountant there. Can a member participate as an IRA? I'm not quite sure I understand. Kevin, can you ask it differently? Is there any other questions while Kevin is rethinking that thought?
I got a question. I know a while back, maybe a week or 2 ago, you mentioned about you have a separate site or something like that. It's the Peak Funding site, but you have a separate site, and you're going to implement that into the Peak
It
Funding
should be
site?
live. I expected it to be live already. I had a WordPress install with a little bit more content, and it's going to become the home for everybody. I asked Bill to cut it over, and then Bill asked George to cut it over, and then our monkey was on fire, and we didn't have a fire extinguisher, so we couldn't put the monkey out. I expect it to happen. I was just talking to Bill before we started this webinar. I said, we still haven't cut over. Can we please cut over? So that should be on live today or tomorrow. It's a little bit more of a robust site. There may be some typos in there. Most of that content was created by me. So typically when I'm developing a website, I'm making the content on the fly, and then I go back and I massage it later. So if anyone sees a typo, please private message me or start a ticket so we can fix it. But it's a true, like a corporate a more corporate website and not just a one-page scroller.
Okay. Oh, here's Kevin's question here about IRA. IRA must be a U.S. thing. I've never even heard about that.
Okay, so we don't call it an investment. You're actually purchasing a stake in a corporation, and as a board member on the corporation, your own corporation is paying you back double at the stake when we go into funding. And however you get the funds in is up to you. I mean, you can do it any way you want. So if you're gonna IRA funds without getting as a loan, I have a checkbook control of an IRA. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means, but again, you're purchasing a stake in a corporation. However you access the money is up to you. Anyone else? Happy Easter Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. It's Monday for me. I appreciate each and every one of you. We're going to continue to do these webinars regularly. I'll make an official announcement once the new webinar presentation is complete with the 25 and the 5 in the presentation. Until then, we're still on the one tier 30%. It's going to be changing in the next few days. I'll keep you all apprised. Appreciate you guys. Love each and every one of you. Happy Easter Sunday. We'll see you on the next one. God bless.